Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time we're going back to Aeons End, and I'm up against the Blight Lord, which looks pretty nasty to me. So what I'll do this episode, I'm going to do a very quick introduction to the Blight Lord. Our two players are playing Zassos. I think you pronounce his name Algamor. Look over the cards we can buy, and we're going to have one turn. So let's quickly take a look at the Blight Lord. I got some tokens and things put on here. And his Unleash ability, any player gains a Tainted Jade. Tainted Jades are not things we want to have. And there is a setup for these. So I'll let you read that if you want. You gain 2, you suffer damage, or you spend 2 to destroy this. So when you get these, you don't want them. And when you destroy them, they go back into the pile. We're not going to do the increased difficulty. Additional rules. When a Tainted Jade is destroyed, return to the Tainted Jade supply. Okay, just said that. When a player would gain a Tainted Jade and the supply pile is empty, the player gets a damage instead. And at the start of each Nemesis turn, before resolving any effects, count the number of Tainted Jade tokens in the Jade supply. If there's only 1, advance the Tainted Track once. If there's 0, advance the Tainted Track twice. Not good. When the Tainted Track is advanced to the square with an effect listed on it, resolve that effect immediately. And there's setup for the Blight Lord as well. Add additional supply. Equal to the number of players plus 4. Place the Tainted Track next to the Blight Lord to the mat. Anyway, there you have it. So this is the Tainted Track. So the Blight Lord has 70 health. Take a quick look at the Tainted Track here. You can see when you get here, Gravehold suffers 7. Player with the lowest life suffers 4 damage. Blight Lord gains 10 life, the players lose, so it's going to be going this way. I'm using little green crystals again to keep track of it. Of course, we start with 1 on the Tainted Track. Alright, that was very quickly the Blight Lord. I'll set him up again. So we're going to take a look at Zassos, Algamor, and then we're going to have an entire round. Alright, so taking a look at player 1 is Zassos. And we're going to take a look at his starting hand. I'm not going over the rules because I've done 2 playthroughs of this already. So he starts with 4 crystals and his special card, which is Flare. It says cast. You reveal the top card of the turn order deck and then place it back on top of the turn order deck. If you revealed a player turn card, you deal 3 damage. Otherwise, you deal 1 damage. So that's pretty good because there's 2 player 1s, 2 player 2s, and 2 Nemesis cards in the turn order deck. And in his starting deck is 4 crystals and a spark. His special ability, if he gets his charges activate during a player's main phase. The allies collectively gain 4 charges, reveal the turn order deck, and return the revealed cards in any order. So he's great at manipulating the turn order deck. He has 1 open breach and, of course, 3 that aren't right now. Alright, we're going to take a look at Algamor, and we're going to get into we'll look at the cards we can buy, and then we're going to get into a turn, or an entire round. Here we have Algamor, and Algamar's starting hand is 2 sparks, 2 crystals, and his starting card, which is the Coal Shard. If you have 2 life or less, destroy this, otherwise gain 3 ether, gain 1 charge, and suffer 2 damage. So, yeah, pretty nasty stuff. But it does give him quite a bit of stuff to do, and his starting deck is going to be 3 crystals and 2 sparks. And his ability, if he gets all his charges built up, activate during your main phase. Gain 6 life. If you're exhausted, any ally gains 5 life instead. So he's a really good healer. He has 1 open breach, 3 that aren't. Alright, I'm going to readjust the camera. We're going to look at the cards we can buy for the Blight Lord. Alright, so we're going to take a look at what we can purchase. We have 3 gems, 2 relics, 4 spells, randomly chosen, of course. The first one we've got is the Haunted Barrelite. You can gain 2 ether, or you could discard a card in hand. If you do, gain 2 charges. It's costing us 3 ether. For 4, we have the Breach Ore, gain 2 ether, or focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost, costing 4. And we have a really expensive one, 6, the Pain Stone. Gain 3 ether, or gain 2 and deal a damage. Wow, pretty awesome. That's our gems, and then we have our relics. The 2 relics we have for the game, this one costs 3. Eternity Charm, Focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may prep one of the revealed spells. Pretty cool. Costing only 3. And 4 is the Vim Dynamo relic. Suffer 1 damage. Any player draw 2 cards, or destroy this. Any player gains 2 life and a charge. So it's a bit of a healing relic, but of course when you destroy it, it goes out of the game. Now we're into the spells available. Void Bond. Cast, deal 3 damage. You may cast any player's prepped spell. Alright, and for 4, Amplify Vision. I think we've seen this one before, costing 4. Cast, focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost. Deal 2 damage. All of your breaches are open. Deal 1 additional damage. So this could be 3. Compounding, and we have 6. Catalyst. Cast, deal 2 damage. If you have 2 life or less, deal 5 additional damage. So when you get beat down pretty badly, this one can be a pretty good damage dealer. Costing 7, Disintegrating Scythe. Cast, deal 8 damage. Suffer a damage. Instead of discarding this, destroy it or place it on top of any player's discard pile. So another massive spell for damage. So that's what's available to us for this playthrough against the Blight Lord. We're going to come right back and we're going to see who is going first in turn order, and we're going to do 1 round for this episode. Alright, let's begin. So I'm just going to take turn order deck and I'm going to give it a shuffle here. I've already shuffled it, but I'll shuffle it here so you know that I'm not putting things in the order that I want them. I'm just going to be random. Alright, so the first player for our first round is going to be player 1. Okay, up first then we have Zanzos, I guess is the name. We're going to go down to his player area, and he's going to take his first turn. Alright, and taking his first turn, let's see what of course he has his flare. It's a spell. Of course, the first thing we do on a turn is we cast any prep spells. Well, we don't have any. He has 4 crystals, and he has flare, so he will prep flare to his open breach 1. And now he has 4 to spend, so should he get a spell, or should he try focusing some of his breaches? He could spend all 4, focus breach number 4, or he could get 2 charges, or he could purchase something. I think he's going to go ahead and spend his 4 ether, and he's going to go ahead and purchase a spell. He's going to purchase the Void Bond and deal 3 damage. You may cast any player's prep spell. So this he will then purchase, puts it in his discard pile. He's played all of his cards, and he will then put them in any order. Well, they're all the same. They're going to go on top. And so at the end of his turn, he's going to drop 5 new cards, well, which is going to be his next hand. So he has Spark and 4 more crystals when he gets to play again. All right, that was very quickly Xanos' turn. And now we're going to go back to turn order and see who's going next. All right, turn order deck. And who do we have now? Player 2. All right, well, players are getting to go first. So we're going to go over to Ulgamore, and we're going to see what he's going to do. All right, Ulgamore, his hand. Of course, he has his Coal Shard. If you have 2 life or less, he doesn't destroy this. Otherwise, gain 3 ether, gain a charge, and suffer 2 damage. Well, I guess he's going to have to do that. So he gets 3 ether, he gains 1 charge, so that's pretty good. And he's going to suffer 2 damage, though. So he's going to go from 10 health down to 8. So he's kind of a damaging himself player. And now he's got 2 sparks and 2 ether. He's going to... Oh, he has 5 ether because he got 3. Wow. 3 from there. I think... What does he want to do? Eh? Well, he's obviously going to prep this spark to that open breach 1. And I think he has 5 left, eh? That's, not sure what he wants to do. Does he want the breach, or... I think, I don't know. I think for 4... So he has a total of 5 ether. I think for 4 he's actually going to open his second breach. So that will be opened. So he now has 2 open breaches, and he's going to prep his second spark spell to his open breach now. That leaves him 1 ether left over, but you can't do anything with it. And then he'll discard his cards in any order. He might put the Coal Shard this way, top of his deck there. And then he's going to drop his hand for his next turn, which will be 2 sparks and 3 crystals for 3 ether. All right, very quickly, that was Algamar. Now let's see who gets to go next. And I am going very quickly because, like I said, I've done 2 playthroughs before, so I'm not really going over the rules per se. We're just going through the turns. Or see if we can take out the Blight Lord. This could be tough. And the Nemesis gets to go. So on a Nemesis turn, we look at any cards the Nemesis has in play, which right now is none. And then next we're going to draw a card. So these cards have all been shuffled in order, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So the first Nemesis card is, oh great, we get a minion, a Labyrinth Wisp. He has 5 health, persistent. Any player discards a prepped spell, or any player loses 1 charge. Ha! That is pretty brutal. I'm going to put them out here front, and I use little dice to designate their health. So again, easier for me to take things on and off. Now that doesn't take effect immediately. That will take effect the next time the Nemesis goes. Yikes. Alright, well, we have our first minion out. Not good. We're going to come back and we're going to see who gets to go again. Alright, turn order deck. And up next, player 1 again. Okay, so player 1, Zaxos? I don't even know how to say his name. I'll just call him Double X. Alright, he's going to have his turn, and we're going to see what he's going to do. Okay, so his hand consists of a spark and 4 crystals. Of course, it is now time to cast spells. If he so desires, he will fire off Flare. So we reveal the top card of the turn order deck and place it back on the turn order deck. If you reveal a player card, deal 3 damage. If it's the Nemesis, deal 1. So let's hope it's a player card. It is a player card. Right on. So because we reveal the player card, we get to deal 3 damage. And so I think we're going to deal the 3 damage to the minion who's sitting right here. He's going to go down to 2 health. That's pretty good stuff. Already smoking down the minion. I like it. And now we get to play cards and do things. Well, we have 1 spark spell, so we're going to prep that to open breach 1. We have 4 left. 4 left, eh? We can't even open that breach. We could focus it for 2, or we can get another spell, or I don't know what we want to do with this one. I think what we're going to do for 4, I think he's going to go ahead and spend the 4 ether, and he's going to get the spell Amplify Vision, and it's cast. Focus your closed breach, lowest focus cost, deal 2 damage. If all your breaches are closed, deal 1 additional damage. So he's going to go ahead and get that. And then, of course, he gets to put these back in any order, but of course, well, they're all the same. So I'm just going to go back. The deck flips over, which I forgot to do for Algamar. He'll have to drop 5 cards as well. 2, 3, 4, and we get 5 cards for his next hand, which are going to be 4 crystals and the Void Bond. All right, so that's going to be his hand for next turn. I think I did that right, didn't I? Did I buy? Yes, I did that correctly. I just flipped the deck over. That's what you're supposed to do. All right, that is the end of turn 4, Double X. And we're going to see, well, of course we know who comes up next, but we'll do it anyway in turn order. All right, we've already looked at the top card, so we know that it is player 2. Player 2 then is going to get to go, which is pretty good stuff. All right, let's go down to player 2's area, and they're going to have their turn. And I did draw their cards, losing my mind, which is normal. Don't worry about it. All right, let's go to Algamar. He's going to take his second turn for this round. Okay, so in his hand is a couple of sparks and 3 crystals, but he has 2 prepped sparks. He's going to shoot off both of them. That's going to be a total of 2 damage, and that's all that's left on the minion. And so the minion only had 2 health left. This minion is no more. We got rid of the Labyrinth Wisp. I'm just going to put that up here for discard. And now Algamar gets to play cards. So he's going to prep his 2 sparks again. He now has 2 open breaches, and he has 3 left to spend. spend. Okay, so with 3, he could get... I think he's going to spend 3. He's going to get the Haunted Barrelite, which will be played to either gain 2 ether, or you can discard a card in hand if you do get 2 charges, because he's all about the healing. It's a pretty good card for him to buy for 3. And that's going to be the end of his turn. He'll discard his cards. Of course, he will flip over his entire deck, and he will drop 5 new cards, which he will play then in the next episode, 2, 3, 4, 5, of the playthrough. So 5 cards he gets: a Spark, his Coal Shard, and 2 crystals. That will be his hand for the next episode. Alright, up last, of course, will be the Nemesis going. So we're going to zoom out. We're going to have the Nemesis go, and that will be the end of Introduction and Episode 1 against the Blight Lord. And of course, one thing I'm supposed to be doing at the start of every Blight Lord turn is we're supposed to be counting the number of Tainted Jade cards in hand. Well, it's been 6, because if we have only 1, we have to add tokens onto the Tainted track. If there's 0, we add 2. So we have to keep that in mind. I have been keeping it in mind, but we do have 6 Tainted Jade cards still available, so that hasn't been taking effect. So we would look now, yes, we have 6. Not a big deal. Alright, so it is, of course, going to be the Nemesis turn. And do we have any cards in play for the Nemesis? No, we do not. So we will be drawing another Nemesis card. We do the cards that are in play, and then we do the card. Ooh, Creeping Viridian. It's a power. Holy man, to discard it, we have to play 7 ether. Yikes. Power 3, so it's going to be 3 turns, and then it will trigger. Any player gains a Tainted Jade and places it in their hand, and you advance the Tainted track. Ooh, that I do not like. Alright, so we're going to have basically 3 charges on this, power 3. So we're going to have 3 Nemesis. Every time the Nemesis goes, it's going to tick down 1. When it ticks down to 0, that effect is going to take place. Don't really want that happening, but we have to generate 7 ether to discard that. Wow. And so for the end of the episode, I'll just shuffle up the cards here. I'll do this at the beginning of the episodes as well. Alright, enough of that. So far, we're staying alive. Algamore, 8 health. Double X at 10, and the Blight Lord, of course, 70 health. He now has this Creeping Viridian power out, which I really do not like, but to figure out if there's anything we can do about it. So thanks so much for watching along. This is Aeons End. I have all of the expansions, the 2 base games, plus the 2 base games, everything thrown together now, and I don't know which came from what, so I'm not even going to try to figure it out. But how I play my playthroughs is I just take everything, the randomizers, and I randomly grab whatever comes up, and that's what I have to deal with. So once again, thanks for your comments, your subscriptions, and likes. Really appreciate it. Join me next time for the continuation of Double X and Algamore taking on the Blight Lord. I don't know. I never know at this point in the game whether I'm going to be doing okay or whether I'm going to get crushed. So hoping for the best. So once again, thanks for watching along, and we'll see you in the next episode.